with Black Clover Mobile, of course, you can go about obtaining a character and then maxing them out for free. How do you do that? You use a dupe stone. Now, with these dupe stones, of course, initially you can get them through the advanced stage right here. This will be available in 20 days, which is 10 days less. Typically it's a month this resets, but it's been shortened, of course, with the way global is currently going at. They are kind of speeding up the process. So this is going to be the most consistent way to obtain this material here. As of right now, of course, I mean, you can also get it through the Mage's Path. So, I mean, as the game has just started, there are other means to get it. But as we go on, it's going to be more to do with the mission side of things as well as the raid boss. Obviously, we're still waiting on that raid boss to come through. But Global will be getting its first ever Golem raid boss. And through that event, we could get those dupe stones. Now obviously with those dupe stones, they can help out getting characters maxed out, putting dupes onto characters. And so one of the key things which I will say right now, there is no character as of right now within the game, being season 1 as well as the pickup banner as well as the general characters, that you need to dupe out. Now for whatever reason, if you do have these dupe stones and you've already wasted one of them, then it's a rip. I mean, there's not really more I can say. Of course, you can't take back once you invest into the character, so it's pretty much a done deal. I'm making this video now just to inform you guys, when you get these SSR dupe stones for your characters, save them, because of course, I mean, it's kind of stating the obvious, they're more for the broken characters, and it's kind of giving you a bit of an easier time to potentially max them out, of course. Now, I know what everyone is going to be thinking. I know what some people are already probably thinking about doing is focusing on Season 2 Noelle. And I get that. I get that. Season 2 Noelle, I mean, if you were there around when she initially dropped on JP and KR, she basically changed the whole game. She was a meta-changing character. Dropped way too soon, right? And it just full on just changed the whole game. She is an absolutely a beast of a character. Of course, this is a character which everyone can get for free because she is a seasonal 2 character, of course. Now, when it comes to her passive itself, so at the start of the wave, it grants yourself a barrier equal to 10% of damage taken for 2 turns. However, if you max it out, that's when things get a little bit more interesting. So maxing out Noelle changes, rather than it being just the barrier side of things, it switches up to where it's kind of like a counter attack now. So at the start of the wave, give yourself water protection. So keep in mind the water protection is also applied onto her second skill where she can apply the shield, equal to 15% of your maximum health for 2 turns. So this is the maxed out Noelle where she can now apply the counter attack through like the initial wave, when the game first starts off, of course, if the barrier is still there. If the damage is done to the point where the barrier of the water protection, like the 15%, is completely gone, then it's kind of like a waste. I mean, she's not going to do anything. There's no counter attack to be done there. So that's kind of how it is. So it's nothing too crazy. I mean, it's nice to have if the enemy isn't doing too much damage and that your water protection is still there. But for the most part, more than likely, it will get completely obliterated. And so with that, you know, when it comes to investing into Noelle, I will say this right now, for global, you really don't need to. Just getting the initial copy for Noelle is going to be more than enough. If you want to go for the free copy of Noelle and then relax it at that point, go for it. Because here's the thing. With how things are going right now, look, we're 11 days out from Season 1 ending, which means Season 2 is practically around the goddamn corner, which means Noelle is soon to make her entrance. And so with that, Season 3 is extremely closer. And what comes with Season 3? The big bad wolf himself, Julius. Now, I did do a video just kind of actually talking about Julius and like the whole Clover Festival situation, of course. This is the character which I would highly recommend you save your dupe stones for, purely because obviously with his maxed out passive is the fact that once he dies, he comes back to life, full health, and of course he's more focusing on reducing the enemy speed, as you guys have seen how OP Lotus is, of course, when it comes to manipulating the speed in your favor. Obviously Julius is also providing that, plus he's a blue unit, so the blue meta is being buffed up that even more. On his ultimate, if he gets a kill, he gets an extra turn. So overall there's just more on offer, and plus when Julius does drop, Noelle won't be that big of a problem anymore. I can guarantee you that. So with taking all of that into consideration, of course, I would honestly say keep your dupe stones for Julius. If anything, that is going to be everyone's main focus, because of course he's going to be on a regular pickup banner, and so realistically, if you want to have your best shot of just having an easy time, you go for the one copy, and then you can dupe him out quite easily. And plus, by then, it's giving you enough time to actually save up a few of these stones, because when it comes to global, as of right now, we do not know how often these dupe stones are going to be. Because so on the JP side of things, this is the first boss raid that came out. If I go back and use my boy Antho's video as a prime example, so of course I mean, with this golem boss, it will come out on global very, very soon, of course. And so with this boss, when it initially first dropped on JP, if I head over to the shop, oh, where is it? Oh, that's not it. There we go. They were actually giving out 2 dupe stones, which is kind of insane to really think about, because if you really think about it, as of right now, we've got one from the event page, we've got one from the missions, and if they give out 2 through the raid, that's 4. You only need 1 more, and Julius is dropping for like during season 3, so in the midst of leading up to season 3, the mission will reset. So technically speaking, at that point you can get 5. More than that, that's all you need, and that's a maxed out Julius for everyone. But that's only possible if global gets the same rewards as JP and KR did on the raid boss. Now that's kind of why I'm being on the fence, because you know, you guys know how global is with the nerfs and whatnot. We don't know how they're going to go about doing this, because of course, you know, having these SSR dupe stones, it can affect the game in a way where it doesn't really require you to spend as much, since you can quite easily just get the initial copy and then max them out. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, yep, this is how it's going to be planned out, this is how you can get all the dupe stones, because as of right now we don't know what the raid is going to be offering. But if it is the same as it's showing right here to how JP and KR had it day 1, then everything is lining up to where you can actually max out Julius, and he will be a power unit. So I just kind of wanted to go over that, and again briefly talk about obviously how you can obtain these dupe stones and where they are. So again, through the missions, so obviously this is going to be the more consistent way of getting this material. And then as of right now, you can go through the mages path. Obviously this is a one-time deal clearly, and then of course if they keep the raid as is, then that's going to be 2, and so that altogether will give you 4. And then by the time season 3 comes around, this mission will once again reset, and then you got 5, and then that will be more than enough to completely max out Julius, and you got yourself a resurrection character with 100% HP who manipulates the stamina in your favor to then, if he gets a kill, gets an extra turn. So it's pretty much a done deal at that point. The blue meta is alive and well. But anyway, you guys, I think I'll leave it there. So that's pretty much what I really wanted to talk about. I will talk about the Eye of the Midnight Suns next, of course. By the way, FYI, I am free to play on global. I just kind of want to clear that up. I'm 100% free to play. That might change because I'm gonna have to do a experiment. Well, that'll be for the next video. But I'll talk about Eye of the Midnight Suns because, of course, I think those characters are going to be next, and then that will fall in line with season 2 dropping in, of course. But with season 2, again, being not that far off, I just quickly wanted to mention this video so that people don't fall for the trap and actually start duping out the Noelle, when realistically it's more in your favor to actually save it for Julius. Noelle doesn't really need it. You don't really even need a maxed out Noelle to actually get the best of her. So I just kind of wanted to get that out there before people start, you know, investing when really they don't need to.